Do you remember the time Tommy fought his past Ranger self? And no, I'm not talking about the one in Power Rangers Dino Thunder, although that moment is legendary and will absolutely get its moment of glory here on the channel. I'm talking about the three-part miniseries Return of the Green Ranger from Season 2 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And honestly, of all the Tommy-centric episodes the show has produced, this one is the one that really shouldn't be forgotten. To understand how this story even happened, we have to go back to 1995. At the time, Saban Entertainment, Toei Company, and Fox Broadcasting Company were looking to capitalize on their massive success of their new television show, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So naturally, the next step was a movie. Production for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, actually began in Australia in October of 1994. Now, you might assume the television show paused production while the movie was being filmed, right? Nope, not even a little. The cast and crew were essentially balancing two full-time productions at the same time, the show and the movie. And if you ever want to go down a fascinating rabbit hole, I'd highly recommend looking into how the actors felt about this situation. And we might dive deeper into that and some other stories of that nature here on the channel someday soon. But for now, just know the writers were still pumping out episodes, and they decided it was time to bring back Evil Tommy, and honestly, it's always a vibe. The story begins with the Rangers discussing what time period they would most likely like to live in. It's part of a history assignment from Miss Appleby. Meanwhile, Rita Repulsa summons the Wizard of Deception, a powerful sorcerer with a plan to send the Rangers back in time. At first, he tries using Bulk and Skull as his henchmen, which of course fails immediately, so he switches to the far more reliable putties. In the process, the wizard creates a clone of Tommy, resurrecting the Green Evil Ranger. After the spell is cast, Tommy suddenly feels weak and goes home to rest. Meanwhile, Evil Tommy tricks the other Rangers into meeting with him, along with the wizard, to send them back even further to the late 18th century Angel Grove. Now the Rangers are stranded in the past, and worse, they're completely powerless. Now, canonically, that doesn't quite make sense because we just reviewed another episode where they went back in time and they still had some powers, but we're going to move past it. Back in the present, the White Ranger and the Green Ranger clone finally face off, and the fight is actually pretty evenly matched, of course. That is until the Wizard of Deception intervenes and knocks the White Ranger out cold. He then orders the Green Ranger to summon the Dragonzord to destroy Angel Grove and let that beautiful music play. Meanwhile, in the 18th century Angel Grove, the other Rangers meet a girl named Marissa, who helps them escape the situation, and very quickly she becomes a love interest for Adam. The wizard, however, isn't done causing problems. He casts a spell on a group of rats, turning them into giant human-sized monsters and unleashing them on Angel Grove. Fun Ranger fact, these monsters were the original planned monsters, the main henchmen in the movie, but they were later replaced by the Oozmen, and honestly, that's probably the right call, because even for this TV show standards, those rats looked a little rough. By the final part of the story, the Dragonzord has been reawakened and is under the wizard's control. Tommy himself is also weakening because his clone exists at the same time as him. Because of that, the White Tiger Zord struggles to stand up against the Dragonzord. Here's another fun production detail. The Zord battle footage had to be pieced together because, of course, the Dragonzord and the White Tiger Zord came from two completely different Super Sentai seasons. Another clever reuse happens earlier in this three-parter. When Evil Tommy raids the command center, that footage is just straight up taken from the Green with Evil episodes. Eventually, Tommy tricks the wizard and his clone into revealing where the Rangers are trapped. Once Zordon figures out what needs to be done, Tommy frees the Rangers from the past and brings them back to the present. Now the Rangers have to deal with two threats at once, the monsters in the past and the Dragonzord in the present. While the Rangers battle the Dragonzord Dragonzord, Tommy manages to steal the wizard's wand and destroy him, freeing clone Tommy of his control. The clone, now remorseful, sends the Dragonzord back to its resting place, and in one final twist, the Green Ranger clone, or Tom, I think as we called him, decided to stay behind in the past, while Tommy returns to his own timeline. And overall, I really do enjoy this miniseries. Is it perfect? Not even close, but it does a great job of bringing back that classic elements from the early Tommy storylines while still telling a brand new adventure. And more than anything, it's a Tommy-centric story that deserves to be talked about a lot more when people look back at the history of the franchise. But those are just my thoughts. I'd love to hear yours in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, because we are continuing to work our way toward 1,000 subscribers before the release of Avengers Doomsday. We thank you for watching, and now that you've got some time, you can go refill that popcorn bucket.